Mental health is arguably the most powerful benefit to a movement practice. I partnered with Lilly, author of The Wiggle Way, a guide from despair to unbelievable joy, to create a mental health movement workshop for you.
Between 2017 to 2019, I traveled to 20 countries investigating mental health. Along the way, I discovered 6 ideas that gave me instant and long-lasting relief from depression and anxiety. We're here to guide you through them today. Each letter in the Wiggle Way stands for one of these ideas. We start with W, for watch your thoughts. As spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle says, you are not your thoughts, you are the watcher of thought. I invite you to get yourself into a comfortable position, close down your eyes, and connect with that observer part of your consciousness. And let's begin with a 5-minute meditation. Taking a deep breath in and out. Coming back into your space. Next is I, which stands for invite curiosity. What would it be like to move a little bit, to inquire into the space you're in? Curiosity is super important for mental health because it helps us break through hopelessness. It helps us open up to possibility. How could this movement you're doing be, say, 10% more enjoyable? How can you get curious about that? What feels more enjoyable? How can it get better? Open up to possibility right now. Next is G, which stands for get off the seesaw. Imagine a seesaw. On one end, you have regrets about the past, and on the other, fears about the future. And right in the middle, above the fulcrum, are these idealized standards of perfection that we hold ourselves to. This whole thing is a fear-based construct of the mind. Most of life is spent walking back and forth on this seesaw, trying to find balance between regrets about the past and fears about the future. But the key here is we don't have to stay on the seesaw. We can choose to step off and not play that game altogether.
We designed a movement task to demonstrate how this seesaw can affect your learning, performance, and enjoyment based on the optimal theory of motor learning. For this experiment, it's critical that for the first section, you pay exact attention to the instructions I'll give you and perform them as precisely as possible in the exact manner I described. We'll get a partner, and I want you to place a ball between the two of you that you must not drop. Next, I want you to draw your attention to your feet and your gait. Gait is divided into 4 phases: heel strike, support, toe off, and swing phase. Don't start yet, but you're gonna walk, placing your attention on specifically transitioning your weight with each step from heel to the outside ball of the foot, toes. Neither you nor your partner must violate the order of the sequence. And if you do, I want you to restart and move back to the center. Start walking and remain vigilant about the sequence of proper weight placement. This is the proper way to walk. Walking with the initial heel contact will reduce unnecessary loading of the Achilles tendon. By then properly shifting weight into the outside ball of the foot when walking along the 4th metatarsal, you can prevent plantar fasciitis, which happens as a result of the valgus knee pressure with improper foot placement. Every step in the sequence has an exact and precise reason, and I want you to work and perform them correctly rather than creating undue risk of injury through improper technique. Even if you don't feel it now, if you do it wrong, you will feel it later, and you will pay the price. We'll give you another 2 minutes or so to work on this as you walk with your partner. Now, for this next section, I want you to know that pretty much everything I just told you before was wrong. You don't need to walk correctly. You're not going to pay the price later. And there is no one correct way to walk anyway. Only methods that work better or worse for you depending on your unique context in the current situation. Working with your partner, I want you to direct your focus entirely to the task. Find a way to walk, finding a connection through your feet, into your shoulder, into the ball, into your partner, all the way down to their feet. Keep your attention here, noting that yes, you're probably going to drop the ball at some point, but it doesn't matter. What does matter is just that you fully engage with the task at hand and just do the best that you can. Notice how much easier, better, and more enjoyable it was when you weren't caught up in all of the muck of that sequence I threw at you and the consequences of performing it badly, and instead we're able to just engage with the task. This is just some of the benefit to stepping off of the seesaw.
When we step off the seesaw, we get out of the mind and into the present moment and the task at hand. The key is to divert our attention from all that mental activity to just relaxing and enjoying the present moment. So whenever you're on the seesaw, notice and name it, and instead come back to the present moment. The next letter in the Wiggle Way is G, which stands for go within. We're gonna bring this investigation deeper, and let's adjust our focus from the external to the internal. I want you to bring your focus to your inner energetic field, which is the source of everything. What's going on in your inner field right now? The second G stands for go within, because within is also the place where we can go to rest and restore. You want to get to a place where within is a sanctuary within you. This is your sanctuary, available anytime, anywhere. So get to know this sanctuary. Meditation helps us cultivate that place of sanctuary within. All the peace, all the joy, and all the love we crave actually originates within us. And the outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And once you know this, you can begin to cultivate the life you want, starting within. I'll give you a minute to sense into what's going on within. Coming back to the room. The next letter in the Wiggle Way is L, which stands for learn the language of the soul. I invite you to consider that the soul communicates through feelings, while the mind communicates through words. So it's really easy to get sucked into the mental chatter, the language, the words, but I want you to practice really tuning into the feelings that are going on in your inner field. What feelings is your soul communicating to you right now? What would it be like to move with those feelings? The last letter in the Wiggle Way is E, which stands for enjoy. Dear friends, I invite you to consider that life is meant to be enjoyed. When we're not enjoying life, we're usually so wrapped up in our negative beliefs about ourselves and the world that enjoyment doesn't seem possible. However, I'm inviting you to consciously commit and learn how to relax and surrender and allow yourself to just enjoy whatever life puts on our path, even darkness. It is possible to enjoy the darkness as well as the light. It starts with learning how to observe our thoughts and feelings. This allows us to work with our darkness and simply be present with it. We might even be able to create from this darkness. This is how we relax into enjoyment. So I have this bottle of rose water spray, and I'm gonna come around and spray each of you. As I do, I invite you to consider what's one thing in your life you can enjoy more? What's one area in which you can allow yourself to experience more enjoyment? Here's what we went over. Watch your thoughts, invite curiosity, get off the seesaw, go within, learn the language of the soul, and enjoy. I wrote my book and created the Wiggle Way because I found alternatives to what was fed to me by the mental health care system. I want to give hope to anyone feeling hopeless if nothing seems to work for you. There are lots of options out there to take care of our mental health. These are some of the ones that have helped me, and I encourage you to explore and discover the ones that work for you.
I just recently finished reading Lily's book, and I highly recommend it to all of you. If you want to check it out, click the link in the top of the description. And if you want me to teach you everything you need to know before starting a movement practice, watch this series.
Subscribe.